Hey everybody, it's me again. Here I am with my recap of last night's first live Impact. Overall, I thought that the show was good. They did a solid job. I thought that it was good, really good. They did a good job of giving it that live, spontaneity feeling. Hey, what's going to happen for the most part. And I enjoyed most of the show. They had some good matches on there, some good segments. So we'll start it off. We'll just get right into the show. It started with Sting and Bobby Roode, non-title lumberjack match. Really good match. The only thing was, they had Sting get the clean win, Scorpion Deathlock, Roode tapped out. I don't know why they had Sting beat Roode. So, the lumberjacks didn't really do a lot. They were just kind of standing around ringside. I didn't really see them do too much. But, sometimes as I'm blogging away, it's like it's hard to keep track of everything that's going on while typing everything up. My apologies if I missed anything. But I thought they were going to do it's a lumberjack match. All the lumberjacks are going to eventually get in the ring, and a brawl was going to break out, and then the match go to no finish. That didn't happen. Sting got the clean win, and then Hulk Hogan comes out and says that Sting is Impact's #1 guy. That was a dumb line right there, because it's like, Sting is a guy who's been around for like 25, 30 years now, and it's like a guy who should be Impact's #1 guy should be someone like AJ Styles or Bobby Roode, guys who've been with the company from the beginning and the present of the industry. Bobby Roode is the freaking champion. Doesn't that make him Impact's #1 guy? Anyway, so Hogan says that he's gonna make some headline news right now, dude. And he says that the main event Slammiversary, Sting versus Bobby Roode for the TNA World Title. That's right. So we're going to see Sting and Bobby Roode again. Like I said, I enjoyed the match, but Hogan coming out, I wasn't really into that much. And it's like, I don't know why guys man Sting's getting the title match. It's like it should be like, give the title shot to AJ Styles, or do something like that. Give it to AJ, since he's there. But at Slammiversary, it's going to be AJ. But I might as well run down the 3 matches I know right now for Slammiversary. They announced Sting vs. Bobby Roode World Title, Kurt Angle and AJ versus Kazarian Dance for the tag titles, and they announced Joseph Park versus Bully Ray for Slammiversary. So those are the 3 matches I know about right now. So anyway, like I said, the Sting Roode match was a good way to kick off the live show. But I still don't think Sting should be getting it. I don't think Sting should be getting the title shot. Anyway, so then we have Madison Rayne backstage, and she's just talking about how she and Brooke Hogan will get along great, and then she's saying that the guy she's got goo-goo eyes for might be watching. Whatever, there wasn't much to that. So then Bully Ray's in the ring, and he's looking for Joseph Park, who's in the crowd with a container of popcorn, and he said that Ray says that he's surprised that Joseph showed up. He asked if he forgot that Ray let him out last week, and then he tells the guy in the production truck to roll the clip of what happened, and they do the whole, then they re-show what happened last week with the whole, guilty, not guilty of Bubba attacking Abyss and all that stuff. Then Joseph, Bubba says that he wants to fight Joseph Park right now. So Joseph Park, who was like sitting in the back of the crowd or whatever, comes to the front row, and he's no mic or anything, but he's saying he doesn't want to fight, and then Ray says he doesn't want to fight because he's a coward. He said that his parents are cowards, but most of all, his brother Abyss is a coward also. So then Joseph comes over the guardrail, security holds him back. Ray says, no, let him go. I want to fight him now, whatever. So then after a while, Joseph Park reluctantly gets in the ring after you're doing the whole not knowing how to get in the ring bit, which is kind of which he does a good job with. He's kind of funny with that. So then Ray says he wants to fight him right now. The fans break out the fight. The fans chant fight. Joseph says, not into the mic, but he says he's not a fighter. And Ray says, you're not a fighter? That's fine, because I don't want to fight you. And he's like, by the way, I want to change my plea from last week. I want to change my plea to guilty. He's like, guilty for leaving Abyss dead. And this is all, I think, happening as Joseph walks out of the ring, and then Ray asks him, so what are you going to do now? And then Joseph Park grabs him by the throat, and then Ray drops to his knees, and he had his fist looked like he was going to punch him in the forehead or whatever, and then Ray said that if he hit him, he'd sue him. So then I think Bubba left the ring at this point, and he said that Ray, and he said that Joseph Park was a coward, just like his brother. And then he was walking out up the ramp, and then Joseph said that if Ray wants to fight, he said, "Let's do this right now." And then Ray taunts him on the mic, saying, "Hey, you want to fight? Hey!" And he said, "Yeah, we'll fight at Slammiversary." Good, really good stuff here. Like I say it all the time. The Bubba Ray Dudley, that's what I call him, is really great as being this heel who was like, yeah, okay, you want to fight? Yeah, let's fight. Oh, wait a minute, I don't want to do now. I don't mean now. So, and Joseph, Abyss, Joseph Park, whatever you want to call him, his facial expressions are have really been good. Just the way he gets all. I'm loving that. I know when they first started, when this character first started, I wasn't really into it. I thought it was ridiculous. But they've done a great job with it so far. They've really done a great job going forward with this. So we'll see how Abyss fights, how Abyss has his match as Joseph Park at Slammiversary when he fights Bubba. So then they show a video package recapping Crimson's undefeated streak, and then they cut to Crimson, and he's just arrogantly saying that he can't be beat. Good stuff there, I thought they really, they did it. That was a good way to keep the arrogant heel character for Crimson going. Then we get to X Division Championship match, Austin Aries versus Chris Sabin. Austin Aries got the pin with a roll up, which was a good ending because it's like I like how they do the They have sometimes out of nowhere finishes, and it's like the roll up could be it, whatever, instead of the sequence of finishes, and it's like, okay, it's over. It's like they're surprising that way. It was good, Austin Aries got the pin with the roll up. It was a really good back and forth match. It was one of my, I think it was one of my favorite parts of the show. So then, Taz was actually talking to Mike Tenay at some point. He was saying, he's got a big announcement. He was talking to Hulk Hogan earlier on in the day. He was in his office or whatever. So then they showed a clip from earlier in the day, and Hulk Hogan makes Taz the new gut check guy. So, woo! My name is God. Ric Flair is done with TNA. Thank God. And so now Taz is the new gut check judge, along with Al Snow and Brother Love, Bruce Pritchard. So Taz says, we'll see the real Taz. Hogan says that the gut check guys are the future of TNA or whatever, and he thanks Taz for stepping up. Not a bad segment. Then we get to a tape segment here of Bruce Pritchard, Bitter Al Snow, and Taz, and I guess Hulk Hogan's office or whatever. And Taz is saying, they're going to butt heads at some point, and he was saying, they're saying, how Taz was saying that he and Al Snow have butted heads already and whatever, and then they talk about whether or not Jerry Ryan should get a TNA contract. They all talk about, they talk about his 70s look, his 70s sleazy porn look or whatever, and it's like Al goes for it. He's saying they're all pretty much saying it stands out. It doesn't have that generic look. It's like when you see him, when you see the guy come out, it's him right away. Which is something that that a wrestler or performer needs. It's like you need a character, the ability to stand out, and not just really this generic, guy with long blonde, black hair or whatever, and trunks, and it's like, okay, guy A versus guy B, and it's like you can't tell who the hell's who. I mean, yeah. So yeah, I like that. I'm kind of in that. I go along with that too. Then Pritchard says that Joey Ryan is trying to be something that he's not, and then he was saying, Bruce says, he says that he thought some guys thought that Joey Ryan was better than Alex Silva. Taz says that Joey Ryan didn't look like he was in for the fight of his life with Austin Aries. And they were saying about how, it's like, Taz said that Joey Ryan, with his promo, and this is where I thought it got a little weird. I was like, he stayed in character with his promo. I mean, I was like, yeah. So it's something that to say, okay, in the ring later on, they'll vote on it. I was like, it's like, everyone knows that this is a work. You don't have to remind us. And I was like, oh yeah, he stayed in character here, but he didn't do this, I thought they were ditching the whole, this part's real and this part's fake bit. I don't know. So it didn't really work for me. Then we go to JB in the back, because they had an online voting of who would challenge Devon for the TV title in the show, and the four choices were Jeff Hardy, Rob Van Dam, Robbie E, and Ken Anderson. So, so I think Devon was already out in the ring, and as I said, JB was in the back with the four guys, and we didn't find out what happened yet, because first we have Dixie Carter coming to the ring, and she says that in just a few days, TNA will have been around for 10 years, and she's proud of everyone who stepped in the ring, who stepped in the TNA ring, and she thanks the fans. And then she says she screwed up the date here, that it's on September 10th, Slammiversary is June 10th. Dixie, you fucked up! You fucked up! So she says that Slammiversary will be a special night. So she says that this was something I didn't expect coming this soon, but it's like she says that they'll announce the first TNA Hall of Fame inductee, which would better be Jeff Jarrett. So we'll see what they do with that, because it's like there's no way in hell Vince is gonna let anyone who's on the WWE contract go to a TNA Hall of Fame. I know that Dixie let Ric Flair do it because whatever, but that ain't happening. I know there ain't no fucking way Vince is gonna let that happen. And anyway, so then she says, TNA, Impact Wrestling, whatever the hell you want to call it, they'll be live all summer. And then she says that they have the best female wrestlers in the world. She mentions that, she talks about, then she brings out who she's going to bring out next, someone who knows a lot about the business. And there's the new head of the Knockout division, Brooke Hogan. Brooke comes out, gets booed, and Dixie welcomes her to Impact. And, she says she looks forward to working with Brooke and looking forward to seeing what Brooke Hogan will do. Brooke says it's amazing to be there, and she thanks Dixie and the fans. They booed her, but, she thanks them anyway. Brooke says that she knows that, Dixie wants the Knockouts to be seen as, like, talented, powerful, and what have you. And she says she knows she's got some big yellow boots to fill. A reference to her dad with the red and yellow. And then she says, she'll work her butt off, and she thanks Dixie again, and that was pretty much it. She said, oh yeah, I'm taking this job so seriously, and this and that, it was okay. It was alright. Thankfully it was short, because I couldn't take too much of that. But for TNA Hall of Fame, I'm guessing Jeff Jarrett, hopefully will be the first one in. I'm guessing they're probably going to put in guys like Kurt Angle, Sting, Hogan, Bischoff. If they're smart, they'll throw in the Dudleys too. It's like I know they're still active wrestlers, but you might as well put them in too. It's like put guys in who've been around for a while that are in your company who aren't in WWE Hall of Fame that you could put in yours. So and even like someone like the Macho Man, who's so deserving of being in the Hall of Fame. Maybe put him in it too. I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, like I said, I wasn't really into this segment, but we'll see where they go from there. Then the show, Kazarian and Daniels backstage, and Daniels mentions that Dixie never brought up the AJ affair or what have you, and then Daniels says that they can't be, it's like it's live TV and they can't be stopped, and he says he'll beat AJ Styles later. That was a decent backstage segment. Then for the top 10 TNA moments, we get the November 13th, 2005, when Christian made his debut for TNA at the Genesis pay-per-view. That was actually good when he debuted that night. He actually had a good run there. I actually enjoyed his run in TNA. So then we go back. So now we go back to TV title. Time to find out who's going to challenge for that. Devon comes out, and then they go backstage to JB with Anderson, Robbie E, RVD, Jeff Hardy, and the winner, Jeff Hardy. So we go to Jeff Hardy versus Devon for the TV title. Good match, but stupid finish. It went to a no contest. The match was thrown out when Rob Terry and Robbie E came out, and it was the same thing that Devon and Garrett did to the Robbies last week. It's like Devon got double teamed for a bit, then he made a comeback, and then Devon and Jeff just cleaned house on the two Robbies again. this whole thing with Devon versus Robbie's ENT is really getting stupid. I mean, this is the second week in a row they've had Devon and someone just clean house on the Robbies here. I mean, it's stale. So then we go to a James Storm video package. He's on his ranch, on his farm at home, whatever, and he says that's, this is where he was brought up. He talks about, Bobby Roode being the it factor in wrestling or whatever, but, Storm's home is where he's the it factor or whatever, and he talks about losing to Roode at Lockdown, saying that he does, he feels upset, that he let down his friends, his family, and the fans and everything, and then eventually he says, Storm, he says he's made his decision, and then this was good. His daughter asked him, does that mean he's going back to wrestling? And then Storm tells the cameraman to shut the camera off. Good stuff, I thought they did a really good job there, with Storm being, I thought he cut a really good emotional promo there about, debating what to do. He said he made his decision, he wants to, and him saying, it's like he wants to, help, be with his daughter and everything, and that kind of stuff. So, and saying, her saying that, his decision means he's going to go back to wrestling, and then him telling the cameraman to shut the camera off was a good spot there. So then they show a video package just recapping the whole storyline with AJ, with Daniel Kazarian blackmailing AJ Styles with the whole Dixie Carter thing, and then Kurt Angle coming in just to help out AJ and what have you. So then JB is in the ring with the gut check judges. Then Joey Ryan comes out. Obviously, I think he's playing the heel here. For those who probably haven't seen, Joey Ryan was actually in Ring Ka King. The promotion of TNA was that was in India. He teamed with Little Guido from ECW fame. They were called Hollywood and Broadway, so I saw him there. And the guy's good. But so he says that he's a big deal and that he's trending worldwide on Twitter. And he says that like 80-something% of the fans voted yes for him to get a contract. Then, like I said, Bruce Pritchard's turn first. He said he says that Joe is a good talent, but he votes no. Okay, Al Snow's turn. He says he doesn't like Joey Ryan. He doesn't like his attitude, the way he walks out to the ring, the cockiness and what have you. But it isn't about whether or not he likes him or not. And it's about whether or not he has the potential to be a star on Impact. So Al Snow votes yes. So with the predictable 1-1, before Taz breaks the tie, and I did this last time too. It's like you get 2 votes. You have the 2 judges vote. Then the guy has to cut a promo to convince the 3rd judge. Why not have the guy cut the promo before any of the voting starts? So Joey Ryan says that he's too good not to have a contract, and that the TNA should know better than to leave money on the table. So now it's time for Taz to break the tie, and he says to Joey Ryan that he's going to keep it real with him, brother. And Taz said that that if that was the promo that Joey Ryan cut to save his life, he's out of his mind. And Joey Ryan, says that Taz doesn't scare him. And Taz says, it's like, Taz says that he's forgotten about more about wrestling than Joey has learned. So saying, like Joey has learned less than what Taz has forgotten or whatever. And so he votes no. And then Taz says that Joey Ryan screwed up his promo and everything. And Joey Ryan was getting, he got in Taz's face and everything. And from what I heard, that actually wasn't part of the storyline. So that actually was a legit, Taz didn't know that was coming. So they improv there. But, so then Taz tells Joey Ryan, go back on the road and return, come back down the line and prove me wrong, so he votes no. So Joey Ryan does not get a TNA contract. Actually, so I read today that Joey Ryan actually did a storyline tweet saying, how could they have voted no? It was a dumb move and everyone knows it or whatever. So obviously that was obviously a storyline tweet. I wasn't really into it because this whole gut check thing, I don't know. It being part of the show, I'm not really into it. I mean, I don't know. If it were a separate show, I don't know, like maybe like a Tough Enough or what have you. Maybe it'd be better. But I don't know. I just don't get into this whole gut check thing. Because they always have the judges in the office talking and saying, oh yeah, this and that, and then it's just like, and then they have two judges vote, then the guy cuts the promo, then the third judge votes, and it's I don't know. But I thought Taz and the Taz confrontation with Joey Ryan was good. I think that was the only good thing for right now. So, going into this, being that they voted yes for Alex Silva on the first go around, I knew that they were gonna have it be where they voted no. Even before I get into the next segment, Devon and Jeff, it's like, why give the fans a chance to vote if you're just going to get, vote to see who they want to have challenge Devon? If they were just going to have it be a no finish anyway with the two Robbies coming in, I mean, it's, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, that might make fans lose interest in actually doing the online voting. Anyway, sorry to go off on that, but during the show, a Bobby Roode promo that he cut from London, where he just talked about being the longest reigning TNA champion in history. And I had seen the video before; it was really good. Like I said, Roode is a great promo guy. So then we get to our main event: AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels. Good match, good back and forth match. Kazarian interference backfired, or what have you, and AJ got the pin. And then afterwards, Kazarian gets in the ring, and then he and Daniels double team AJ for a bit. Kurt Angle comes out to even the odds. I think he Olympic slams Kazarian and then puts the ankle lock on him. Then Daniels kicks Angle in the balls, and then Kazarian gets this plastic that you get on these pieces of cardboard or what have you from under the ring. I don't know what the hell they were doing there. And they use them as handcuffs, and they cuff Angle to the ropes. And then AJ hits Kazarian with one of the tag titles. And then Daniels gets the mic and says, it's like they've shown pictures and they've shown videos, and the fans still don't believe what they're saying, So then Daniels says that he's got proof positive of the AJ Dixie affair right from their own mouths. And then they play a recording of an AJ Dixie Carter phone call with just them talking about, it's like, oh yeah, I don't want him to know, meaning Dixie's husband or whatever, it's like, AJ's like, oh yeah, I can't wait, or this or that, and I forget everything. And then Dixie comes out, rips out, takes Taz's headset and tells the production guy to shut the call off, and she was like, yeah, turn this off, no, this isn't supposed to happen, and then she dropped an F-bomb or whatever, and then, and the show ends there, and then as the show actually goes to the credits, she says to the guy, she tells the guy, hey, you're finished. When I first saw it, I didn't really care for it. I just, this whole AJ Dixie thing is ridiculous. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I mean, it's obviously not going to be AJ and Dixie having a fling. But, so we'll see what they do. It was okay, for a cliffhanger, I guess if they wanted to do a cliffhanger, fine, but, like I said, I haven't really been into this whole Kazarian and Daniels blackmailing AJ, and then, AJ, got all these favors to get to the top because he's been hanging around with Dixie or whatever. So that was the show. Like I said, I thought it was a good show for the first live attempt. Like I said, Sting and Roode was good. I still don't think they should have had Sting get the clean win, but whatever. Whatever. Hopefully Roode will get the win back at Slammiversary. Hogan setting up that match I wasn't really into either. Like I said, it should be AJ Styles or even James Storm returning and challenging for the belt again or whatever. AJ Daniels was a good match. That recorded phone call though with AJ and Dixie, I wasn't into it. Austin Aries, Chris Sabin was a good match. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin's former Motor City Machine Gun partner, has left TNA, so Chris Sabin is going to be a singles X Division guy again. But like I said, Austin Aries and Chris Sabin are both great in-ring workers. So it's like that. You guaranteed a great match with those guys in there. The Joseph Park Bully Ray promo was really good too. They both did a great job there. Joseph Park was great with the facials and everything, and Bubba, of course, was great at being the belittling, bullying heel. And then backing off when he was. And then running away like a chicken shiznit heel when Joseph finally stepped up to him. So they both did a great job there. Like I said, Devon, Jeff Hardy, good match, but I don't know why they had the no finish. And the James Storm segment was pretty good too. Yeah, that was good too. I enjoyed that. You know, and like I said, the gut check segment, not a fan of it. Brooke Dixie, no, I didn't go for that either. But overall, for a solid, for a first live show, I thought they did a good job. They actually got me interested in the show. And it was definitely way better than what WWE is doing with Raw on Monday nights. So that'll pretty much do it for me right now. Hopefully I'll get a chance to watch SmackDown a little later, and maybe be back with a video later on today. So until then, like I say, you can add me as a contact. You can feel free to comment as you see fit. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Tone for All. You can check out TonyViz.blogspot.com, my blog website where I recap all the shows. And you can check those out. Let me know what you think of my recaps, and that'll pretty much do it. So for right now, until if I get around to, hopefully I'll get around to SmackDown recap video. Till then or whenever, hopefully when I get to the SmackDown video. This is Tony Viz, The Tone. Thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you all soon. Take care, folks.